Hi everybody, and thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be cooking in my brand new Dutch oven. It's pre-seasoned, 12 quart with a deep interior, and I've never really cooked with this type of implement before. I've done cast iron cooking and camping and things like that, but this is going to be a first for me. And today we're going to be using it to make bread pudding. So let's get started. The great thing about bread pudding is you can just use leftover bread. I've got a whole bunch of rolls that were left over from a party we had this last weekend. I left them sitting out overnight after I kind of broke them up into pieces, let them kind of dry out a little bit. And then the ingredients that we're going to make for sort of the custardy thing you pour on top to soak into the bread is fairly simple. We're going to use 8 eggs, which we're going to beat, 4 cups of milk, 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and about 1.5 cups, 1.75 cups of walnuts. And for a topping that we're going to put on it while it's in the Dutch oven, we're going to have about 4 tablespoons of light brown sugar and 4 tablespoons of butter that's just cut up. We're going to drop the pieces on, it'll melt right into it, get nice and tasty and toasty on top. So let's get started in mixing this all together. Let's get these eggs going in here. Gotta get these beaten very nice in here now. This is probably really second nature to a lot of you out there, but I am not a baker, so I'm not used to doing eggs and things like this. I usually just, when making eggs, like scrambled eggs or something, I crack it in the pan and mix it up in the pan. So, but bread pudding's pretty forgiving. Now, the rest of our ingredients. 4 cups of milk, our 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, our 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, our 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now I'm going to mix this together before I add the walnuts in. I want to get this incorporated before I add those really chunky bits. I've made it in the oven before, never in the Dutch oven. Getting that nice thick sort of custardy feel here. And now we're going to add our walnuts. That's just a quick little mix with these. Get them in there. Now let's get it out to the Dutch oven, get the bread in there, and get this poured on so we can get cooking. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the inside of this with a little bit of canola spray. Not that much. And now we're just going to start putting our bread in here. All these nice big hunks. All right, now we're going to pour our sort of custardy mixture in here and get this soaking in. Let me push these down, make sure that everything's in there. It's going to soak up a lot of this. Now start pouring here over everything. Get it soaking in there. Don't want to be too much, but we want to get it soaked into that bread. If I'm making any mistakes here, any of you that are Dutch oven cooks, let me know. Now what I'm going to do is just drop these pieces of butter in here and sprinkle our brown sugar all over the top. Let's get the lid on, get the coals arranged, and get it cooking. Okay, so this is my first time Dutch ovening. We're doing it in our little backyard fire pit, a little portable fire pit. It says you're supposed to have about 10-ish coals underneath, and then you stack about 14 to 16 on the lid. So I've got 10 coals going there. I'm going to bring the Dutch oven over now and get it on. And it goes without saying, you need to have good gloves on there. When you're doing this, it's pretty hot. Okay, we're going to get about 14 to 16 coals on top here. Keep the rest to the side. I do have more coals ready to light up if I need to. Which might. This says it takes about 45 minutes from the different recipes I've seen. Okay, so we're going to keep the rest of these coals off to the side. so that they don't impact the cooking too much. And if we need to, we'll bring in more coals. It's supposed to rotate the lid about 15 minutes, it says. We're making bread pudding in the Dutch oven. Okay, so one of the tools that came with my Dutch oven was this. It's called a lid lifter. It's supposed to make it easy to lift the lid off, take it off, put it on the little lid holder that also came with this set. And that's good because I don't really want to reach down in there even with, you know, good leather gloves or high heat gloves, or even the gloves you can use to like pick up briskets and stuff, because those are going to be really hot. So this is going to be a good tool to use. Oh my. I don't know if you can see that. That looks great and it smells wonderful. It's rotated the lid there. I'm going to add a couple more coals. Some of these are burned down a bit. One thing I didn't prepare for was the ash, and I had read that it said you should have a whisk broom to brush all the extra ash off the top. I didn't do that. I will have to remedy that. A couple more coals underneath here. We'll check it again in a bit. You can see that it is looking amazing. Springing back. I'm going to let it go a little bit longer, though. I think another 15 minutes. That is looking wonderful. Oh, this smells so good. I believe we are done. I'm going to take a few of these excess coals off the top before I lift the lid. All right. Moment of truth. Oh boy. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Now I've got to get some of that out of there, get it off the heat into a foil pan so it stops cooking, doesn't burn too much. I like it a little crispy on the bottom, but let's get this out of here. You can see that there is a piece of it I just cut, and I'm going to taste it now. I can't wait to taste this. That is great. Oh, wow. Nice. Look at that kind of creamy center with all the bread that soaked that in and hasn't been fully sort of crisped up. Oh, the walnuts. On that outside, how's that crispy crunch? This was a success. I only wish I'd had a Dutch oven when we went camping so much. Could have made this. Oh. I want to say thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a good time doing it, a learning experience. If you have a Dutch oven, you ever made this, go out and try it. It's good. I mean, the total cooking time was about 45 minutes. Readjusted the coals and the lid a couple times. It was easy. I wish I'd done this a long time ago. And I'll see you again soon.